Hello and welcome to this short Vort on Parshas Korach from Revii to Chamishi. During Revii to Chamishi, which is Perik Jud Zayin, Pasuk Tes to Pasuk Tes Vav, we have an interesting epilogue to the story of Korach and his congregation being swallowed up that is probably little known. After this miracle happened, that Moshe said an unusual death would happen, and now would be the sign that what I say is true. This was after he had Korach and his 250 henchmen take the Ketores and bring the Korban, and then they died. So the Bnei Yisrael said, "You murdered them. You gave them the Ketores because you knew that this would cause death. We saw death. We saw Nada Naviu. They brought the Ketores and they died. So when you gave the Ketores to Korach and his Eidah, then that's why they died, and you caused it." That they said it wasn't because of Hashem. So as a result, Hashem said this rebellious crew, he wanted to destroy them again, and he tells Moshe and Aaron, "Hey, Ramu mitoch Eidah, separate yourself from this congregation, V'achala osam karaga, and I'll destroy them in the instant." Then Moshe then wants to prove to the Bnei Yisrael that Ketores is not the problem. Moshe knew that Ketores, from his time, is 40 days up in heaven. Each Malach gave him a secret. The Malach Mavas told him that the Ketores is a way to save from death. So Moshe told Aaron, take the Ketores, because now there is a plague that's attacking a portion of the Bnei Yisrael, and we want you to stop that plague. And so Aaron brought the Ketores, and he was separated between the dead and the living, as the pasuk says, and the plague stopped. However, this was not before 14,700 people died in this plague, and afterwards Aaron goes to Moshe Rabbeinu and he tells him, "All right, I brought the Ketores, and now the Magefa Netzar and the plague stopped." So Reb Chaim Kanievsky, he says that why is it that Aaron had to go back? Moshe knew the secret of the Ketores, and that by bringing it, it would create the end of the Magefa. So Moshe would have known this, but Aaron anyhow went back. So this teaches a lesson that when you're sent for shlichus and there's good news, you have to come back. Particularly he mentions for Gedolim, that often when they give a bracha, people leave and they don't come and say what happened. They don't tell the miraculous results, that the blessings were Mekayim. So the lesson here is that you have to go back to Mekayim. And since I was fortunate to receive a bracha from Reb Chaim Kanievsky last week, so it's something for me to keep in mind. And one other thought is the language Heromu is from a language separate, like in Truma, to give Truma. And there's different levels of Truma. There's from 1/40th, 1/50th, 1/60th, depending how generous one person is. And if we looked at the number of people that died, it's 14,700. This was a truma for the Bnei Yisrael, because if you throw in another 250 people with Korach and his 250 people, so that brings you to about 14,950. That's about 1/40th of the 600,000 men of the Bnei Yisrael. So this was a teruma that Hashem took as part of the plague. May we be zocha to hear Besuros Tovos. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you for listening.